This is a great day here, January 24th, 2014. We have a lot to celebrate, a lot to recognize, and I want to start today off with an invocation from Reverend Peter Y. Cool, one of our volunteers.
Welcome, distinguished visitors, family, friends, brothers and sisters. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. My name is Reverend Peter Cool. I was raised under the Methodist brand of Christianity, and I'd like to give a blessing for today's ceremony. So if you'll bow your heads, I'll give us a prayer which will elevate your spirits and give you strength. We thank thee, O Lord, for this and all of thy bounty. Teach us to avoid the pitfalls and prejudices, pride and vanity. Make us mindful of the weak, the sick, and the unfortunate, and make our humble lives a reflection of thy roots. These things we ask in thy name. Amen.
Thank you. First up on our presentation today, this is dedication and groundbreaking for our Sawmill project. This is a day to remember that January 24th, 1848 was the day James Marshall discovered gold on the South Fork of the American River. I want to turn it over now to the Sierra Nevada Mormon pioneers who are going to do a cannon demonstration. They're going to do one now, and they're going to do one at the end of the ceremony. Where's Ranger Scott Liskey at? Come on up, Scott. This year is also a special year, 2014, for California State Parks. We have our 150th anniversary for California State Parks. Ranger Scott Liskey's dressed in the appropriate attire for 1939, when the park system was first forming. The first park of the state park system, and we consider it our legacy, is Yosemite National Park, dedicated in 1864 by President Abraham Lincoln during the Civil War of the United States. So it's a pretty special time to name something, to dedicate for the people when the nation was in unrest and upheaval. So we're honoring this year of 2014 as California's 150th anniversary of California State Parks. And to be a part of this park here, Marshall Gold Discovery State Historic Park, Marshall Monument was dedicated in 1890. And so that makes it, managed by the state since 1890, in my book, the oldest state park in the system still today. So this is a special park and a special place. So let's give that a round of applause for Marshall. Scott? He can talk more about his outfit later when talk to him in person. The events here today wouldn't have taken place without a lot of support and help. And I want to acknowledge the Native Sons of the Golden West. They came to me and they said, we want to make this a special day. We want to do something big in Coloma. And I said, guess what? We're building a sawmill this year too. And we need to have a groundbreaking for it, so let's do it on Gold Discovery Day. So we're here to honor of Gold Discovery Day, building the new sawmill. And it wouldn't have taken place without their effort, their backing behind this. It also takes a staff, my staff, that has dedicated all the hours to putting the stage here, building the fires, making sure the chairs were out for you all. So thank you. Our presentation today is sponsored by the Gold Discovery Park Association, and they support the park. And over the last 3 years, we've contributed quite a few funds through the Gold Discovery Park Association to the state park in carrying on the interpretation, the education, and making this place a place where you can come and experience what gold rush, the California gold rush, was like. And we do that through our volunteers, and we couldn't do any of this without our volunteer help. You see them dressed in period clothing. You see them out helping out, picking up trash, mowing fields. And this park would not make it without those volunteers. So thank you. I want to thank the Grange for being a big part of the park and supporting what we do here at Marshall Gold. They allowed the Native Sons to rent the space there to provide the lunch afterwards that you all can attend. So make sure you take advantage of that. See what they've done to the Grange. They're taking care of it, and it's become a community again here in Coloma. And we're able to do things as a community in the Grange. So thank you to the Grange. The Gold Discovery Park Association today has sponsored a free tour at 1 o'clock at the museum. So make sure you can attend that if you want to do that. It's about an hour long. Gold panning lessons at Beckert's Gun Shop are free today. And wagon rides. So make sure you take advantage of all those amenities here in the park. Make sure you bring back people. Tell them what happened here. 166 years ago, James Marshall discovered gold on the South Fork of the American River, and we want to carry on that tradition of remembering what he did and all the people that came here after that. When James Marshall picked up those first few flakes of gold from the tail race of the sawmill he was building for John Sutter in 1848, he touched off the greatest rush the world had ever known. American westward migration changed from a trickle to a flood, the idealistic young republic gradually expanding westward from the Atlantic seaboard, thus realizing its manifest destiny, suddenly became a major presence on the Pacific Rim. Native American cultures, thousands of years old, were shattered and destroyed. A much neglected 300-year-old Mexican province, pastoral for decades, suddenly became a proud new state and a fast-growing new nation. A coastal village on the Bay mudflats turned into one of the world's largest great seaports. A makeshift landing on the Sacramento River became the base for a transcontinental railroad and the center of a great inland agricultural empire. So that's a little bit of what the gold rush did. I just want to make a few introductions now. We do have James Marshall here today. Shout. We have Sam Brannon in the audience, so find Sam Brannon today. He's the one that told everybody, gold, gold, gold from the American River. Everybody left San Francisco. I want to thank the Sierra Nevada Mormon Pioneers for being a part of this event, and they're a huge part of the park, and they were here at the Gold Discovery, helping James Marshall build that sawmill. We have the stake president from the El Dorado County LDS Church here today, so thank you for being here, Spencer Weston. Native Sons of the Golden West Grand Parlor President, Dwight Dutchke. We have the design crew from the Northern Service Center, Shelley Dildy, the architect, Pei Wang, landscape architect, Leslie Hartzell, museum and interpretation coordinator, and Soraya Groff, curator, Bill Johnson, the construction manager. So thank you for being here. We have the contractors that are going to build the new sawmill. We have owner of the company, Sean Payne, his wife, Kristen Payne, and their 4 children, Anthony Thompson, and Kyan Wazkowiak. And he can introduce some of his crew when he gets up here. Is he here today? We have Supervisor Ron Briggs today for the 4th District of El Dorado County. Thank you, Ron. Donna Posey, Chief of Interpretation and Education at our headquarters office. Hello. We have Trish Sweeney, Field Representative for Assemblyman Frank Bigelow in El Dorado County, 5th District. And Terry Wardley, District Coordinator for Senator Ted Gaines, 1st District.
For us kids, it gave a lot of things that we don't have in the county, which is basically a place where people don't bother you when you're just hanging out. But you know, in El Dorado County, we're bordered on the west by Folsom Lake. We're bordered on the east by Lake Tahoe. Some argue that that's the gem of the Sierra and regionally, globally significant. We have the Rubicon Trail that takes you up to from Georgetown to Lake Tahoe. We have Desolation Valley. We have Apple Hill. We have a new group of people in El Dorado Hills that provide something different than I think most of us would live. But the significance of Coloma, and I've always told anyone who is interested in running for this seat or running for the legislature that want to understand the area, Coloma is the heart and the soul of the county. And if you want to understand why, just look at each other. You have an interactive community. Most of this is taking place today by volunteers. And we have a tremendously good park superintendent in Jeremy. I mean, he has done a great job, by the way. That's kind of where it starts. I mean, we all fought several years ago when the governor had the great idea to close down the parks, and I think we successfully, this group of people, successfully lobbied for remaining open because of all the things that it means. There's 70,000 kids that come to Coloma every single year to visit the history. And the history is provided by the volunteers. So I just want to say from our perspective, the county perspective, we have a lot of wonderful, wonderful places to go. But this is the place and the heart and the soul for now and for the forever. Sorry. My dad always said the best speech will be given before and after the speech, never during. But it is the heart and soul. And I want to thank all of you, the Native Sons, the Mormons, ladies, the docents, James Marshall, Sam Brennan, because you guys make this special, and you guys make days like today work. Thank you.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here today to do our continued commitment to the park. My counterpart, Sharon Logan, Grand President of the Native Daughters of the Golden West, will be here later on today to reinstitute a parlor. From placing the monument that you see at the water's edge in 1886 to the day Native Sons to continued commitment to the park and its ongoing commitment to state parks, it's a pleasure to be here today. Two quick little stories. The cannon presentation was kind of funny to me. Setter had a small cannon that he had on a wagon that he used to shoot at the Indians with. It was my great-grandmother's grandfather that he was shooting at. But not everything was negative, because when Setter went to patent his claim in early February, sending a representative to Monterey, the representative got drunk and told everybody that gold was discovered, and that's brought about the gold rush. And Setter later on laments, he says, I should have sent one of my Indians, they at least kept their mouths shut. Anyway, thank you very much for having us today. I very much appreciate being here. Native Sons and Native Daughters, it's once again a pleasure.
I want to bring up now the contractor for the sawmill, Sean Payne, for P&P Construction. I want to present Sean today with a medallion of the event today here, commemorating January 24th, 1848. So So if you could introduce who you have with you here, that'd be great.
Okay. Thank you. First of all, I'm very honored to be part of the project team to build this historic project. Really means a lot to me. It's what I would say is like a career type of project where my children, their children, and grandchildren can come and visit and know that we were a part of it. So we're very honored. With me, I brought Anthony Thompson. So Anthony, if you want to come up, he'll be our project superintendent, making everything happen. We've got Cayenne Wiskowiak. Come on up, Cayenne. She's our contracts administrator, handles all the paperwork. I brought our excavation contractor, who's going to be moving a lot of dirt here to make the Sawmill possible, Fan Chancellor from Forest Hill. So again, we're very honored and excited to be starting. Thank you.
These are provided by the Gold Discovery Park Association. They've sponsored the event and really want everybody to treasure what we have here and what we're going to do, so thank you. 166 years ago was the gold discovery. And it was the movement by the native sons of the Golden West in 1886 that led to the completion and dedication of Marshall Monument in 1890 to be maintained by the state of California. The Society of California Pioneers marked the mill site in 1924. Additional timbers and relics were unearthed in 1947, and the mill monument was created and dedicated at the centennial in 1948 by the native sons of the Golden West. 1965 was the completion of the first Sutter's Mill replica. 1970s, they had a general plan that said, we want to move that mill that we just built over near the original gold discovery site and the original mill site. Called for realigning the river, which we couldn't do in today's environmental regulations. But we're going to bring it back closer to where it actually was. 2003, the park superintendent said, let's do this project, let's make it happen. And so for 10 years, we've been planning this project. Meetings after meetings. It's gone after taking 4 park superintendents. And this mill is a symbol of the California gold rush. And Sutter's Mill is an iconic image and a representation of California and the history. And it's known all over the world from the visitors that we encounter. So I'd like to bring up where we are today after those 10 years of planning. And in the last 2 years, it's been pretty heavy with trying to figure out what we're going to do. The design crew of who put this thing together. So let's bring up our crew that we have from the Northern Service Center. We have Shelley Dildy, architect, or Shelley. You guys can all start coming. Pei Wang, landscape architect. Leslie Hartzell, museum and interpretation. And Soraya Groff, curator. So we had lots of meetings. We walked all over the park. We've had tours with Ed Allen. We've talked to all the volunteers. And it's been a lot of work. And so what I want to do is I want to commemorate this day and present them with also a coin of the Sutter's Mill here. So when they're back at their office, they can have that sitting on their desk and remember when I call how important this project is and what it all means to all of you. I also had t-shirts made for this special occasion, 2014 Sutter's Mill reconstruction, and going to present each of them one, and they can pick it up over at the Gold Discovery Park Association tent. So they're part of the team.
Hi, my name is Leslie Hartzell. I manage the group that's helping with the exhibit design for the whole project out here and in the museum. And I had the pleasure of taking my family to Australia the month of November, and I made a special effort to stop at Marshall Gold Discovery, Coloma's sister city of Clunes in Australia, and take a picture of a place that could really use a design team, I think. But nonetheless, they are our sister city. And in addition to that, I made sure I stopped at their famous Sovereign Hill in Ballarat, and I brought back Jeremy some commemorative tin coffee mugs from Australia, as we had a wonderful tour of Australia's gold fields with my family. Thank you, Jeremy.
Wow, what a treat. We're trying to create this sense of place, of what it was like to be here. And having this mill here really represents that. And you get a sense of what it would be like to be there on that day that James Marshall went down and said, "Boys, by God, I believe I found a gold mine." So what I want to do now is I want to have some designees come up and hold on to these gold shovels here. After the ceremony, we're going to take one gold shovel and auction it off until at a silent auction at 1 o'clock. So you have a chance to own a piece of history and support the Gold Discovery Park Association. And after they've finished and we've gotten the photo shot, if you guys want to come up and try your hand being a part of history and a part of this occasion, come on up. Is there an archaeologist here?
I'm taking your picture.
Yeah, you actually get to dig. So on my command, let's build this mill. Go ahead and dig. All right.
Construction supervisors.
All right, stand by for the Sierra Nevada Mormon Pioneers to get the project off to a bang.
Hurrah for Mr. Marshall!